What's up, teachers? I wanted to put up a video today about a resource that I came across called Kialo. I know that there's a lot of people who have been trying to figure out how to really facilitate different discussions. It seems right now like it's very difficult to do that. Putting the requirement of making a comment on a Google assignment and trying to hold discussions that way, I think can be a little disjointed, and sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming for the kids to just kind of know what's going on and how to follow the discussion. And obviously, that's something that we want to avoid. We don't want this to be stressful in any way. We want them to just be able to contribute to the conversation and not have to worry about anything else. So, sorry, I'm just closing that out since it keeps bouncing. So, as I was looking through some of the best resources for this, I came across this website. Again, it's called Kialo. I'll put a link in the description so that you can get to it. But basically, when you click on the page, it'll open up like this. It gives you a brief tour. There's some different there's a video there, and there's sort of just a breakdown of everything if you want to take a look. But once you get signed in, and you can use your Google account, you can use pretty much anything, or just create an account with an email. It'll bring you to this page where you can actually create your discussion. So if we click up there, and you'll see how simple this is. You click on create discussion. Obviously, we want it to be private because we're only inviting our students. We don't want people to be able to get onto it that aren't our students. So you have a couple of options here. You can do a single thesis, so just one argument, and the kids list their pros and cons. Or you could do a question with a couple of different responses, and then it follows through, and they would add pros and cons for each different thesis that shows up. Just to make things simple, I'm going to show you the process for making a single thesis, but obviously I think the multiple thesis option is a really powerful one, and could be useful especially for older grades, or depending on what you're trying to get out of your students. So let's just do a simple discussion. If you should be familiar, if you're an elementary school teacher, with the book Know David. So I'm just going to put David listens to his parents. That's the discussion. So you can also add links here. You can put more background information if you want. And then you click on next. You can put a picture if you feel so inclined. I'll do the cover of Know David, and then we're good to go. So now it pulls you up to this page, and you can decide to invite people. A couple of things. When you go into the settings, you can see all of this. I would select allow voting, and I'll explain that. I'll show you why in a minute. You could also enable feedback, so you could set it up so that you can give the students feedback based on their arguments, and only they can see it. You could put so that everybody can see it, but you can also select just so that they can see it, which I think is a good way to go about it, depending on what the process is. No, I don't want to abandon my changes. Hang on. So we save that, and then we're good to go. So it shows up like this, and when I want to share, I click up on share and invite, and you can select this discussion access link. That means that kids can join into the discussion without an account, which is super important. One less thing that parents and kids have to worry about. So now this is it. It's pretty basic. David listens to his parents. The argument against that would be he knocked over the fishbowl. More kids can add other things. You go blah, blah, blah. And obviously for this book, there would be an overwhelming amount of cons. Maybe you have one argumentative student that thinks he does listen to his parents. So we'll put that one vote. And what's cool is you can actually visualize. You can see here that there are 4 con votes and 1 pro vote. And you can also see here as well that there's this visualization piece. And you can also, if everybody, you vote on each one, and if this really has no impact and you go to one of these and they're super strong arguments, then when you go back, you can see specifically how people are voting and which arguments are the strongest and which are the weakest. So I think this is a really valuable tool. I'm curious to see how different people will implement it. So go ahead and leave a comment if it's something that you use, and we can learn how to do this together. So good luck with this, and let me know how it goes. We will talk soon.